Welcome inside the RxMuscle studios in New York for an episode of Iron Debate. I'm your host, Sadiq Faruqi, and when we started this show, it was supposed to be the CNN crossfire for the bodybuilding world. All debate, no agreement. Well, lately, people started calling us out. They said, this show has a lot of agreement. Everybody's agreeing with one another. Well, you know what? This time, we figured we're going to bring an online grudge match to Iron Debate. So with that, we bring on John Romano and Christian Duque. We're going to go to John first, a man they call Boss Number 2, Guadalajara, Mexico. Or you're correct, John? Okay. All right. We'll
I got nothing to do.
The man they call. Welcome to Iron Debate.
Much said. Yeah, I actually live in Kentucky.
His credibility right there. I'm saying Kentucky. What the fuck?
Gotta go where the money's
You gotta
at.
make believe. You gotta be from Kentucky, but be in Cincinnati. Was it ups your rep points? Right.
Right.
I got it. Okay.
And
No good.
What is Johnny saying? I see Johnny's screen. Did he say the field goal is good, or what's he doing?
That's exactly what he's saying.
Fist.
Oh, okay.
He's
All
doing a
right.
Stevie Wonder imitation.
Oh yeah. Maybe he's getting ready for that Spanish show next week.
Yeah.
Right?
And of course, we'll get to all that. And of course, joining me in studio, of course, the man with the final word, Dave Palumbo. Dave, we finally get to have a grudge match here on Iron Debate.
It would be a great grudge match if I could see anything. What the hell is going on? All I can do is hear guys. I can't see anything. I don't see myself. I don't know if our TV's not working here or if it's not working live stream. We just had a great show on YouTube, and now I can't see anything. So what's going on, Johnny Styles, our producer over there? Are we having some technical difficulties? Christian fucked it up,
did.
according to
Are
Johnny
you kidding
Styles.
me? Really? No.
No, it wasn't me.
Can we take a commercial break maybe and come back with some better engineering?
How did I mess it up? All right, sure.
It's still streaming. I don't see anything. Amanda Palumbo, my wife, my beautiful pregnant wife. Are we on? Are we live? We couldn't hear the first
Qualify
minute
that,
and a half.
Dave.
Maybe we could start over. But this
Yeah.
is live TV. You can't do that, Sid.
This is the magic of
the
live
hell's
TV.
How's everyone in
How
the
come I can't
web
see it on our
forums doing,
TV
by the
set,
way?
Johnny?
Hello, how are you?
Dave, you don't need to see us. You know what we look like.
Why don't you switch switch seats with Johnny Styles, Dave?
No, I
He's
don't
already
know.
taking shots at Johnny Styles. Unbelievable.
No, Sadiq. I'm saying, why doesn't Dave switch seats with Johnny
make
Oh,
Styles.
just
Styles?
switch seats. Okay. You know what? I see that we are live.
I am
So,
not taking shots
You know what?
at Johnny
We're just
Styles.
we're gonna rage on here. So we're gonna start with the show, and the first topic of debate here on Iron Debate on RxMuscle.com, brought to you by Species Nutrition and Quest Nutrition, and that is the role of message boards in the bodybuilding world. And it seems as if there seems to be a rift in opinion as to whether or not it is a necessity anymore, a luxury, or whether or not it's just dead weight. So, Christian, we're going to go to you first on this one because you have a pretty strong opinion on message boards in the bodybuilding forum.
All right. Well, I think message boards are a thing of the past, like the chat rooms. You know what I mean? I think, like, honestly, conceptually, they're a good idea. And I took some notes, of course, I have to be lawyerly. But I think that conceptually, they're a good idea if professional bodybuilders were coming onto those boards. If you had actual gurus like, Chris Aceto, George Farah, people like that coming on. If you had supplement company owners beyond Robert DiMaggio. I mean, like, just a lot of different owners at once. Nothing against Robert DiMaggio's, great company. I'm just saying more company owners. But the reality of the matter is that the people that you have at these message boards are basically the same people every day. You never see them at contests. They don't compete. Not that I compete, but you know what I'm saying? They're not competitors. They're not at the shows. They're not buying the supplements. They're not buying the NPC gear. They're just basically sitting there just talking shit all day long. You know what I mean?
And in forums, isn't that what it's all about?
Well, again, you can only take the word fan so far. You know what I mean? Like, again, what you want to do with a message board, the whole idea of a message board is to create a community. Now, not to divide and conquer here. The message board that we had, or that you had at VPX with the whole Power Hit Radio, that was a good message board because there was people that were actually engaging, people were actually going to shows, people wanted to see changes in this and that. But I think the element that you have at RxMuscle, at Project Bodybuilding, it's the same people. It's the same people. It's Kurt James. It's who is Kurt James anyways? Our teacher with 12-inch arms. You got a 60-year-old ham operator. You got a guy from France. You got a guy that Guru Hansa and Triple H is over at Project Bodybuilding trashing Dave Palumbo like every single day of the week. Do these people really make a difference? I'll tell you something, and the last thing I'll say. I know a very, very, John, you probably know who I'm talking about. I know a very, very, very prominent bodybuilder, a very big family man, that's well known in our industry, who will not go on the message boards. Why? Because there's people talking about his daughters, there's people talking about his wife, there's people saying all sorts of irreverent, inappropriate things. And where are the moderators at? They don't do anything. Now, if you say they do, well, I can tell you, where are the pros? John has that saying, where are the bodies? Well, I'm saying, where are the pros, where are the gurus, and where are the supplement company owners? Because they're not at the forums.
Let's go to you on this one. Where do you stand on message boards in the bodybuilding arena?
Well, I think it's a very narrow viewpoint we just heard, extremely narrow, and I think perhaps motivated by the fact that the man who proffered it has been the brunt of numerous, internet flailings. So I can see it from his position. But not really. No, I don't think just because the pros and the supplement owners aren't online doesn't lend any less credence to the fact that there's a community there that people want to get together. It's like saying, well, Facebook sucks because I can't talk to Donald Trump personally. But you talk to your friends. This is what it's about. It's about community. It's about bringing a global audience into one place where you can interact with each other without having to get on a fucking airplane. So because some people, their vaginas can't handle a little teasing or a little anything that you get in real life. I mean, I don't know anywhere that you can go in any industry, in any club, in any gym, and anybody, and have somebody tell you that you have a tiny penis, or you look really shitty today, or your wife looks like hell, whatever. I mean, it's free speech. This is America. So if you can say that shit in the gym to somebody, you should be able to say it online to them. So the fact that communities exist to populate, a certain area of cyberspace with like-minded people who are doing, a like-minded thing and are trading off ideas and everything. You can't just sit on the main forum. You got to branch off into the sub-forums. And if you want to learn about, drugs, if you want to learn about supplements, if you want to learn about training, if you want to interact with people who are actually putting together, contest diets and are monitoring their progress and are, going through, contest prep or bulking phases or whatever, and you're sharing information, you're sharing ideas, and if you're not mired in the fucking folly of the main forums where people are calling you names and you got to run home because you got to find your mom, it's ridiculous to even say that they're worthless. I think it's a tremendous opportunity for community to exist in a global forum that otherwise we wouldn't be able to have to communicate.
Christian, want to
Absolutely.
You have a rebuttal to that?
Or yes, rebuttal?
Yeah.
Okay. So no, I agree. A lot of a rebuttal. Yeah, that's a rebuttal. In any event, I agree with a lot of the things that John said.
We're gonna be here all fucking day.
You know what?
That's the point. It's a debate show. I mean, can I at least one rebuttal? I mean,
right,
I give one rebuttal, give one rebuttal, and then Sid will decide. I guess I don't know how this.
Fucking late. You wanted this thing, and you're fucking late.
Don't you? But you're almost Hispanic. Don't you understand? It's good manners in our culture never to be on time.
You better not let me hear my mother hear you say that.
All right. Well. Anyway, speaking of potato chips, let me give this rebuttal here. Okay. So in any event, I do agree with a lot of what John said. I mean, there's some truth in it. Yeah. If you are at the message boards, you should branch out. You should go to other forums. For example, Muscle Central, RX Girl. But the reality, you should go to the sponsor forums. But the reality is, I've worked with a couple of sponsors, myoatmeal.com. I was helping out with Primeval Labs. The reality of the matter is most of those people never go onto the sponsored forums. They seldom. I worked with Gail Auerbach. They seldom go to RX Girl. I also, who was the guy from Muscle Central that they screwed over when they gave the job to Kurt James? Anyways, I know a lot of the people, and the reality is these forums are not getting the views. They all stay at Muscle Central. Why do they all stay at Muscle Central? Because they stay there the whole day, ragging on people, beating off whatever they do. Kurt James banning people left and right. This is what they do. I don't think this helps. Now, again, the other thing, another point. So again, John, I agree with you on that one. The avatars, John saying free speech. I agree, free speech all the way, 100%. But these people, you never see them at the gym. You never see them at the shows. You never see them anywhere because the place they are is on these boards.
How do you know what they look like?
I tell you,
you see an avatar walking by,
exactly.
What the fuck do you think you're going to see?
You're right. You're exactly right. Once again, I don't know what they look like.
Go? They could be all over the show. How do you know? That's not true. That is an absolutely false statement, and I'll tell you why.
Hold on. No, it's not your turn. It's not your turn. It's not your turn.
I'll tell you why. Because I've been at shows. I've been at the Olympian, Arnold Classic, the USA, the Junior National, Junior USA, and you see people walking around in the expos. They got bags of shit. Bodybuilders and everything. And then you hear them talking. Oh, I'm so and so on the forum, and I'm so and so on the forum. Oh yeah, really? Well, I'm so and so. It's nice to meet you. That happens all the fucking time. So for you to make a blanket statement and say that they don't go to shows is absolutely ridiculous.
If I'm not allowed, hold on a second. If that happens again, I'm done. It's my turn, and I get to speak. If we're going to have a real
rebuttal.
Forum,
you can't have the whole. You can't have the whole floor.
Excuse me. I'm giving my points. If you're going to just walk all over me like that,
go ahead. Get your point out. You need a time. You need a timer to go on because otherwise we're going to be here all fucking day.
Give me a time. Give me a time and respect my time.
Tie it up. You've spoken more than me.
No, guys, Sid. Okay. This is bullshit. I'm not doing this.
All right, Christian, speak.
No, I'm not doing this shit. I'm not doing it. Either he shuts up when I speak, I'll shut up when he speaks, or I'm not doing this. You tell me right now what it's going to be.
Speaking already. You're talking too much. Finish.
All right, Christian, go on.
All right, guys. See you later. Not doing this. Not doing it.
Christian, just finish what you have to say. Oh, my God.
That's cool. Admit defeat.
All right, Dave?
I'll give you my opinion.
No, I'm not.
Waiting for you.
All right, let me give you my opinion, then Christian can give you his opinion. My opinion is I think that I understand the point that Christian's making with the negativity, but you know what? I'm probably the most talked about person on every forum. Not to say that I'm that great. Most of it's negative. And I don't even care because you know what? It probably makes me more popular than anyone else out there because everyone has some kind of an opinion about Dave Palumbo, about RxMuscle. There are entire forums dedicated to talking about John Romano, me, Chris Aceto, and everything that goes on at RxMuscle.com. So, and it doesn't bother me because, nothing bothers me. I don't care what people say because I don't listen to it and it doesn't affect me. Even if I read it, I laugh, So people can say what they want. And I think it's free speech. And I like the fact that the community gets to discuss things. And when breaking news comes out, things get discussed. Have the forums become maybe a little less relevant since Facebook came out and people can post on there and Instagram and stuff like that? A little bit, but I still think they're relevant. We have a community at RxMuscle, a family of people that do post there, and people feel at home there, that they know the people there. It's like they're family members. And whether they're making fun of Christian or they're lauding him and saying he wrote a great article, that's their opinion. And, Christian, that you write things and John writes things and not everyone's going to like what you write and some people are going to love what you write. And that's the great thing about the free, open, communication that goes on there.
Dave, what I'm saying is if I'm given time to speak, I'm taking this seriously. I took notes, I prepared. If I'm going to be given time to speak and this guy is going to walk all over me like he just did, it's totally unacceptable. And again, you're how old are you? Like 50 years old or something, dude? I mean, seriously, come on, it's unacceptable. Yeah, I have points.
Dude. Drop it.
No, I'm not going to drop it. I prepared for this. I took this show seriously.
I haven't said a word. Go ahead, go.
Give us your opinion. You're wasting time.
The floor is yours.
After all the interruptions. So what I was saying was I agree with him to the point that people should be going to other sections of the forums, the sponsor sites, the Muscle Central, the RX Girl. I agree with that. Then I was going to say I agreed with him that I don't know if the people are actually going to the shows. I don't know if actually going to the gyms. However, the context of their speech, they're making threats against me. They're saying they're going to beat me up like they did to King Kamali, like they did to Craig Titus. And they're saying all these things. I never have once been told by anyone in person, even that guy Triple H that I saw backstage in Fort Lauderdale, he didn't come up to me and say he was going to beat me up. I introduced him to my friend Mighty Mike Quinn. They took pictures together. We hung out. He didn't say one word to me. Once I left the show, then he went right back into the forums and talked trash. So that's the type of person I'm talking about. So again, that's all I had to say before I was rudely interrupted. Thank you.
On to the next topic of debate, and that is the Arnold Classic, which is going to have a bit of a new wrinkle this upcoming show. So men and women's physique, unlike last year where there was an invitation to all competitors in those two divisions, this year is going to be open, but with a bit of a twist. So only 10 athletes are going to be invited as far as having their room and accommodation, their travel, all the accommodations. Those are going to be paid for. Then they're going to have an open competition, at which point the top 10 from each division are going to be featured on the main stage. So unlike just having an open invite and having a round after round after round, the only ones that you're going to see in the limelight or the main stage are the top 10. So, Christian, we'll start with you on this one. What do you make of this new rule?
I said I'd like to clarify something first, if you can cut to me. Just for people who don't know, there was a rule change made. Usually the Arnold Classic is by invite. So they invite 10 to 12 or 10 to 15 people per class. They pay expenses, a hotel, room, board, all that stuff. This year they said for men's and women's physique, we're going to let anyone who wants enter, which is a weird thing for the Arnold Classic because they've never done it. It's always been invite. The problem is that if you don't make the finals, if you don't make the top 10, you don't get your room and all that stuff reimbursed. So you kind of have to lay the money out. It's kind of like you're taking a chance. Will you make the top 10 or not? The question is it a good idea or not? I think, and that's what we want to know from the guys.
So, Christian, we'll go to you first on this one.
Got a very important text. I have to answer this. So it's actually from someone important. Just let him give it to John.
During
please.
A television show.
If you knew who it was from, you'd understand. Give it to John, please.
Wow.
It's the President of the United States, John.
Another passive-aggressive chess move by Christian Duque. Okay.
No, actually, if you
are you going to let me talk, or are you going to show me your phone?
I'm getting a text from Jim Mannion. If you must know.
Wow.
So why don't you take the?
Tell him I said hi.
You want me to? Why don't you go ahead and answer the question?
Okay. So, Dave, do you want me to answer this question?
Yes, please.
Okay. You know what? I think if it's, when we put on these contests, they like to try things new. Remember that, all kinds of different judging methods and invite methods. I really don't think you should open the door to whoever to come in and then they're going to weed out the top 10. I mean, you're going to get Jocelyn Pautier coming in again, dyed greener than my shirt. So I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to sit through it. I don't want prejudging to be 18 hours long because, they invited everybody from, everywhere, all comers welcome, and then we're going to weed it down to the top 10. They already know who those top 10 are because they're the top 10 they would have invited. Is this a way to get more entrance fee money? If that's the case, okay, I'll agree with that. I think that's a creative way to make more money. And if it works for the promoter, then I'm happy too. But as long as I don't have to sit through it, the 10 at night is what's going to be the show. So however they're going to, create that cutoff during the day, it can only be really time consuming if, 50, 60 people show up. You know what that could turn into. So, I think they have to limit it in some way, but I agree that if they cut it, have a prejudging where they weed out the top 10 and know that only the top 10 come in, and then we're going to take care of their airfare and their hotel and whatever. So I think that's equitable and fair as a means of trying it out. If it doesn't work, then they'll go back to doing it the way the other divisions are handled. I think it's fine.
That said, of course, as Dave mentioned, the other divisions are going to stay as the invite system. Christian, do we have you?
Yeah. So basically, I broke this story. I went ahead and I gave it to Muscle Sport Mag, just so that's out there. And I'm like, this is something that I spoke with Jim Mannion about at length. Basically, what it is the Arnold Classic has always done its own thing. A lot of people, like Dave said, the Arnold Classic has never cared about the point system. The Arnold Classic's never cared who's won shows. They've always invited the people that they think belong there. They've always had a very, very successful event, second only to the Mr. Olympia. And so now they're changing it. A lot of people are, concerned that if it's going to be successful, if it's going to water down the competition, it's not going to do any of those things. The reality of the matter is that after last year's Arnold Classic, Jim Mannion, Bob Lorimer, and Jim Lorimer, hold on. Yeah, give me a second.
Fair. While he's doing the Jim Mannion text.
So in any event, Bob Lorimer, Jim Lorimer, and Jim Mannion came up with this decision after last year's Arnold Classic. A lot of people were concerned maybe this was some kind of a reaction to Lee Thompson's organization. It wasn't. The reality is they want to have more competitors on the stage. They want to make it more international. I spoke to my good friend Zoa Lindsay. She's going to be possibly coming from Japan. I'm hoping Colette Nelson will do it. The reality of the matter is that 50 women are going to get on stage. 50 men are going to get on stage. The top 10 are going to have their per diem, their food, their hotel, their airfare, everything calm, just like before. And I think it's a good thing. I think the top 3, the top 5, they're going to be in the top 3 and the top 5 because they're at the best of their sport in whatever lineup they go to. But then, places 5 through 10, it could be, faces that we're not familiar with. And again, it's a huge opportunity for the athletes. It's great marketing for them. Any athlete that gets on an Arnold Classic stage is just going to have a lot more exposure for their company. They're going to have a lot more exposure as an athlete. And the fans are going to get what they want. They're not going to see the same faces they see every year. They're going to see some of the faces, and they're going to see different faces, and potentially somebody out of nowhere that may not normally be invited might give a Juliana Malacarne or a Tyson Coppet a run for their life. Who knows? It's making it interesting.
Word on this topic.
Yeah, hold on. I got a text from Steve Blackman here. I got to answer. Oh, yeah. You want my opinion? Okay. It is a TV show, right? I've never seen anyone answer text message on a TV show ever before.
I'm
in my
sorry.
life.
It depends who the text message is from.
Doesn't matter. If it would have been from the President of the United States, I would have waited till the TV show was over. It's a fucking live TV show, Christian. For God's sakes.
I'm sorry.
I don't think personally, with regard to the Arnold, I think it's a little bit of a slap in the face of the title holders. Juliana Malacarne, whether I don't know who's going to be in the men's physique division, if Jeremy Buendia is going to be there. I mean, you're basically telling these people, lay your own money out. We're not going to reimburse you unless you make the top 10. I think that it kind of ruins the whole spirit of the Arnold Classic, which is always, we're going to invite you, we're going to treat you first class, we're going to get you hotel rooms, we're going to pay for everything, we're going to give you a per diem. It kind of was like, it made the athlete feel special, and that was always something that I thought that the Arnold did great. I know they want to create more interest. There's plenty of interest in men's physique. There's plenty of interest in women's physique, especially that women's bodybuilding is gone. I think it's a bad move. I know they're trying it out. There's no entry fees for the pros, like John had mentioned. I think he didn't realize that. So there's no money behind it. I think they're just trying to spice things up. But you know what? We know who the top 10 in the world are, the top 12 in the world. They can invite those people, and that's what the enticement is. Try to do well over the whole course of the year so that you get invited to the Arnold. That's what makes it special, and I think that's the way it should remain.
You're watching Iron Debate on RxMuscle.com, brought to you by Species Nutrition and Quest Nutrition. The grudge match, John Romano and Christian Duque here on RxMuscle.com. We now move on to our next topic, and speaking of Arnold, Kai Greene confirming his presence at the Arnold Classic. That somehow has been met from the other side of the spectrum with calls for his retirement. So, John, we're going to start with you on this one. Simply put, should Kai Greene retire?
Hang on, I'm texting Deepak Chopra to make sure.
Who is that?
Why? Who cares? Who would want Kai Greene to retire? I mean, who would even have a say so in that? It's retarded. I mean, he's his own man. No one can call for his retirement. He's not the fucking president. If he wants to compete, let him compete. Jesus, just because he didn't do the Olympia, for whatever reason, doesn't mean he's out of the running or should be counted out. Kai Greene is a world-class, incredible bodybuilder. He's got more following, you should know this, Dookie. He's got more social media following him than any other personality, more than Dana Lynn Bailey, more than C.T. Fletcher, more than Jay Cutler, more than anybody. Kai Greene has the most. So he's the most popular bodybuilder out there, and you're the one who's always talking about let the fans see the competitors and let the fans do this bullshit, whatever, even though none of them go to the shows. I don't know who those people are walking around the expo. But, let them compete. Fuck it. It's his body. It's his career. He's an awesome bodybuilder. He's second in the world. Let him compete. He'll be first.
Wasn't that awesome how I didn't interrupt you?
Christian, you, on the other hand, feel as if Kai should retire, correct?
Absolutely, I do.
Why?
All right, well, I'll tell you what. Here's the reality. I think that Kai Greene is not a good example for the fans. I think that Kai Greene has made a mockery of the sport of bodybuilding. I think that, 2014, I will never forget 2014. That press conference was horrible. What he did to Phil Heath was horrible. I believe, may not be factually backed, but I believe that it was because of Kai Greene's antics that NBC didn't air the Olympia either time. What he did on stage was totally inappropriate. And then when he tried to say, along with George Farah, that it was all planned, which obviously, it wasn't. And it was a great interview with Phil Heath on NBC News Online, where he, of course, said that he had no idea what Kai Greene was talking about. So as far as his antics go, as far as his guest posings in bondage gear, again, there are children in the audience. I'm not saying that bodybuilding should be a family sport, but I am saying that we should be aware that there are children in the audience. And when someone is, guest posing in bondage gear, I just don't think that that's right for our sport. Aside from that, I will say, though, that age is also not on Kai's side. Of course, people will say, well, Dexter Jackson's 45 years old and he's placing top 2, right? The answer to that is not everyone's Dexter Jackson. The reality of the matter is that Kai Greene is nearing 40, and Greg Valentino made a terrific point on his YouTube video 2 weeks ago, and he said that if Kai Greene does not come in first or second, his career in terms of marketability is pretty much over for his new brand, for all of his various ventures. So that is a lot on the line for someone that's 40 years old to really have to accomplish. First or second. If he even took third, his whole legacy would be in question. So what I'm saying is quit while you're on top.
John, do you agree with that?
Absolutely not. And that's ridiculous to say that if Kai Greene doesn't place first or second, he's going to lose his #1 spot as the most popular bodybuilder in the world right now. That's absolutely ridiculous. It's going to
tell Greg
evaporate
Valentino
overnight.
that. That's Greg Valentino's point, and I agree with it.
Ridiculous. What is he doing talking over me? What happened? What happened to this whole thing about you weren't going to talk and me?
I know. You don't like it, huh? You don't like it.
Get the fuck out of here because I'm not going to put up with your fucking shit, okay?
You don't like it. You don't like it, huh? You don't like it? Well, why? Why should I do that? Well, why? Why should I do that? You did it to me. You don't like it? Does it feel nice? You like it? You like it? Does it feel good? I'll keep doing it.
You like that?
You like it?
How old are you?
Huh? 37. How old are you, Grandpa?
Yeah, right. That's not the point. Okay, get your passive aggressive last word.
I didn't hear you. What? Can you say that again? Can you repeat it?
John, please proceed.
Getting tired?
Huh?
What?
I wasn't talking to you.
Huh?
John, please.
Jim Mannion, please text message Christian so we can shut him up for a second.
Really?
Okay. No, I'm
Please
sorry.
get a text to Jim Mannion back, will you?
Be careful, John. You apologize. You got to play nice if you want to be at RxMuscle.
Oh my God.
What? What was that?
Can we continue this show or not?
What was that? Did you have something to say?
I didn't say douchebag. I said
you didn't say anything. Just keep talking before you
continue
get
the
in
show
trouble.
or not?
For like a few minutes.
John, please continue with your point.
I would love to. What was my point?
About Kai Greene.
Look, to say that if he doesn't place top one or two in his next show and his legacy is in question is the most retarded statement I have ever heard. You can't break someone's legacy by not placing first or second when you're the most popular personality on the planet. So that's just absolutely asinine, and that's where I'm leaving that.
Well, I agree, but it's Greg Valentino's point, and I actually agree with it. So everything you just said was against Greg Valentino because it was his point, but I agree with Greg Valentino.
To his face, I have no problem with that. I talked to him last night.
Cool.
I don't have any problem telling him that to his face. I'll call him. I'll text him right now.
Okay, go ahead.
Dave, let's go to you. Final word on this topic. Kai Greene, should he or should he not retire?
First of all, who made Greg Valentino the expert? Greg Valentino said that if he doesn't place top 2, his legacy is gone. Why is Greg Valentino all of a sudden the expert on this? That's what John really is thinking.
He's not an expert. He just made a good point.
No, it's not a good point. It's a terrible point.
It is a good point.
It's not boxing. It's not like he's going to lose the heavyweight title. He's a popular bodybuilder because he looks like a freak. And he'll look like a freak probably for the next 10 years if I know Kai, and he'll still be very popular, whether he wins the Olympia or he places last place. As a matter of fact, if he does worse, he might even have more fan support because they'll think that they're victimizing him. But I think so. Kai will walk away with 3 victories for all 3 Arnold Classics. USA, 2 weeks later Australia, 2 weeks later Brazil. I guarantee that.
Of course. You know why? Because Phil Heath's not there.
It has nothing to do with it. I think if Phil Heath was at the Arnold, he would beat Phil Heath.
Oh,
it's funny. Okay. I got a text message, speaking of text messages, from Mel Chansey asking me if I'm discussing the IFBB. Christian probably sent out the alert, John, that we're bashing people when we're not bashing anyone, obes't who
I was texting. I was only texting one person. That's it. You know who I was texting.
Isn't it ironic that Mel had to text me?
Isn't that ironic?
Yes. What I also find interesting, and Christian knows I like him in some kind of a demented way, but
sure.
It's interesting that you seem to have more friends in this industry than John and I do. Like, everyone's your best friend. Isn't that a little peculiar?
I don't think so. I think the reality, if I may answer, you like to say, now you've said this to me privately, and is it okay if I'm going to go ahead and say it. Johnny will mute me there. I don't know what he's doing. I can only see his head. But anyways, you've often said that Jim Mannion is not really my friend, that he's just using me. The same thing with Robin Cheng. They are both my friends. They have both come through for me when I've needed them. Robin Cheng asked me to help him promote Battle of the Gurus, and I said, of course I would help. I don't know what your definition of friends is, but to me, Jim Mannion is as much my friend as you are, Dave. And you've been a very good friend to me. John was a good friend to me for a while, even though he says we have no connection, whatever. But the reality is, they're my friends. You know what I mean? And I don't think everyone's my best friend. I don't think I'm naive. But yeah, I think I have a few friends. I have many more haters than friends. Probably 95% of the people in this industry hate me. But I'm fortunate to have friends, good friends, that make sure that I'm able to get backstage passes, that I'm able to do interviews, that I'm able to get 6 sponsorships that I have right now, that I'm able to, do what I do.
What do you do?
Everything. A little bit of everything.
Next
a little
question.
bit of everything.
We're now going to move on again. For
what
those
do you
watching,
What do you do, Dave?
Not very much,
not
evidently.
Really nothing at all.
No.
You, for the viewers out there, are watching Iron Debate on RxMuscle.com. This is the grudge match edition of Iron Debate with John Romano and Christian Duque. So we've gotten the topics out of the way. Now we go to our face-off. This is the first ever Iron Debate.
Let me say one quick thing, Siddiq, if you don't mind.
Please do.
That John Romano had said this many times before. Maybe he forgot. But when I was on Power Hit Radio, my episode was the most popular episode, and I have him on air saying that, just for the record. And I think that what John and I are doing right now is probably going to be your #1 Iron Debate episode, because it's the only time people have actually gone to war like this. And Johnny over there crying and all that.
Hold on.
Well, he's nodding back and forth. What is he nodding about? ¿Qué te pasa, chico?
You've been taking a lot of shots at Johnny Styles. You have to open up. What's up?
Because 2 years. Well, habla, chico. Di algo, tírate un pedo.
Okay, for the audience that does not understand Spanish, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Johnny, por favor, habla. Di algo. RX Español. Come on. Well, anyways, all I'm saying is this is going to be a great show. That's all I'm saying.
So, okay, now can you translate what you were saying to Johnny, so for the rest of the audience?
I'll translate. Christian was mad because Johnny and him were supposed to do a Spanish radio show together, and Johnny did one episode with a good friend of his, Lorenzo Orozco, and Christian got insulted and called Johnny Judas, as if he stabbed him in the back. In which case nothing came through. So we'll discuss.
No, you're wrong, Dave. You're wrong. Judas didn't stab anyone in the back.
So that's all Dave's wrong about, the stabbing part.
Yeah, Judas sold Jesus out for 30 pieces of silver. There was no stabbing involved.
Johnny, how much money did you sell Christian out for? Was it 30 pieces or 35? He sold them out for an isolized shake.
Does he have a microphone? Is that how you treat the Spanish people? He doesn't have a microphone? Johnny?
He doesn't
you just did though. You just talked. You see, you messed up. You just talked.
He said, for those that couldn't hear him, that he doesn't speak to people.
John, get off the phone with Blackman.
He doesn't speak to people that blocked him.
I'm waiting for something interesting to happen.
All right, next question.
So you know what? We're going to go to the face-off round. So now, according to Christian Duque, John Romano is the, quote, John Kerry of bodybuilding. Why? Because he says that he flip-flops on issues. Christian, you want to clarify that statement?
How do you go from calling someone a mobster to calling them your friend? How do you go from saying that an organization is corrupt and nefarious when your wife gets an IFBB Pro card and places in top shows? How do you do that? How do you go from telling me not to work for RxMuscle.com, quote, they have no traffic and are banned from all the shows, end quote? How do you go from saying that Dave Palumbo is my worst enemy to Dave Palumbo is my friend, quote, you were annoyed keeping loyal to Dave. Not only did I move to New York, but I helped build the studio. So he basically is saying that he built the studio, but Dave still screwed him over. Now he's sitting here saying that Dave's his friend and that he's been doing this now for 7 or 8 years, when in reality, we all know he got the boot in 2011 and just came back in 2015. And the we is actually Chris Aceto and Dave Palumbo, not John Romano and Dave Palumbo. So how do we do that? How do we say that Dave is supporting Aaron's actions against you? So when Aaron Singerman was saying that, you know, the whole thing with Jay Manning calling and me losing the Iron Mag Labs thing, and I was saying, John, Dave isn't behind that. My problem's with Aaron, not with Dave. But John is saying, no, quote, because Dave is supporting Aaron's actions against you, end quote. But yet he's here now, and John is RX's friend, and John is a team player, and John respects the NPC and the IFBB, and John will stand firmly against Lee Thompson and anyone that challenges the IFBB because he's loyal. And John is also accused of writing about people's families, but yet John would never do that because John is against that. John is the John Kerry of bodybuilding.
John Romano?
Is that like a closing argument for support class? That was very impassioned. Three-quarters of it was absolutely totally incorrect and inaccurate. So I'm not going to go back and comment on either.
We have the face messages.
No, see, I don't take notes. I just take it all in.
But we have the evidence on Facebook. You can't refute it. Can't refute it.
I'm not refuting it. People evolve. Okay. Minds change. Circumstances change. Opinions change.
But you just said it wasn't true. So you are the John Kerry of bodybuilding.
Well,
now you're saying it is true.
You're the old Fester of bodybuilding. I don't hold that against you.
That's fine. I'm the old Fester. You're the John Kerry. I win, you lose.
It's fine. I'll be John Kerry. I don't care. He's doing. He's got a respectable position. People look up to him. I'll take that.
Okay, so great. All right, next.
Thanks. I appreciate that. That's kind of a good compliment to compare me to Secretary of State. Thank you.
Absolutely. Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you. I win.
Dave, let's get your take on this topic in the face-off.
Well, he just said I won. There's no take.
Yeah. Well, I get the last word because it's my show, Christian.
Okay. Why back?
Here's the way I see it. Number one, everyone knows that there was a falling out, and there was a problem that John had with, the IFBB and the NPC at some point in time. That's documented. Everyone knows it. We've talked about it. It's been rehashed. And when someone gets into an argument with someone, words are said, things are said that they sometimes don't mean, sometimes they do mean. But it's like getting into a fight with your wife or your spouse or one of your family members. You know what? And sometimes grudges are held for years and years and years, And then at some point, the peace is made. We evolve, we change, we realize what we did might not have been the right thing, and we make our amends, and we move forward in a positive, constructive manner. John and I started RxMuscle. We built this thing that we call ours. And, it was sad when John left. And, I know John was very upset and he said things that he probably regretted and he already apologized for those things. And now everyone's on good terms. We're back speaking, with the powers that be. We're obviously all in support of the same thing, the organization that we all believe in.
What are you talking about, Dave? You guys just made fun of the powers that be like 5 or 10 minutes ago. What are you talking about?
You made fun of the powers that be.
You made fun of them.
You're the guy who's trying to suck balls here because you want to think you're someone special when in fact you're no one. You have no status in this industry whatsoever other than the guy who sweeps up when the show is over. All right? That's the bottom line. I gave you an opportunity on RxMuscle.com because I felt that you were impassioned about what you did. but you're also a troublemaker. That's why you got banned several times from the site, and that's why you made everyone's life miserable. All right, if you want to kiss Jim Mannion and Robin Chang's ass, that's fine. And those two guys run our organization. And without them, we wouldn't have an Olympia and we wouldn't have an IFBB and NPC. And I respect that 100%. I also respect free speech. And if I don't like something about something, I voice my opinion. I try to do it in a respectful way and create debate. That's what we do. That's what Iron Debate is about. If you want to try to throw John on the bus, I think that's a low blow. Because believe me, he can hit you with a lot of low blows too. And he's not doing it. The bottom line is that John did something. He apologized. He's back. And what we're doing here at RxMuscle.com is reporting the news, debating the topics, and hoping that the industry evolves in a positive way because of this debate.
Let's move on to the next topic of the face-off, and this one's going to go to you, John Romano. Is Christian Duque and the quote-unquote internet fan, aspiring journalists, are they good for bodybuilding, or are they taking the industry in the wrong direction?
Flip-flopping is another form of an apology. I don't think that this John Romano is any more credible than the previous John Romano. Which John Romano is the real John Romano?
The question was for
yes,
John.
I'm still on the first question. I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest.
Do you have a question for me?
I don't do questions. I'm giving a statement.
What's your point?
I'm not directing the statement to you. I'm directing it to the moderator. My point is directed to the moderator, and that's Sadiq Faroqi, not you.
Yeah, I asked John a question.
Go ahead.
Again, let's repeat the question.
I can't hear it. Somebody keeps talking.
Is Christian Duque and this new crop of internet fans, aspiring journalists, are they good for the industry, or are they taking the industry in the wrong direction?
I don't neither good nor bad. I think it's a matter of who, if you want to waste your time. He's got to talk about a guy who's got zero credibility. He's accomplished absolutely nothing in this industry. He's had no job in this industry. He's never competed. He's never worked for a magazine or a website or anything and produced anything noteworthy where people have, said, wow, this publication has gone from here to here because of the efforts of this one guy. So, there's absolutely zero credibility with this guy. He's just a nobody that came out of, cyberspace that decided to make a few videos and put them up there and, continually badger the constituency to give interviews and, do whatever to make him, to popularize and promote his own agenda. And it's basically gotten him his 15 minutes of fame. He's on this show debating me, which, he would never have been able to do in his entire life unless, he became the industry pest. So this is the benefit. So obviously, if I can't speak for the industry at large, but I can say that right now this show has been a complete waste of my afternoon. So, because I'm debating nobody. Now, if I was debating somebody that had some credibility in this industry, would have a credible debate, I wouldn't be having this sophomoric duel about talking at the same time and acting like a complete moron on a television show. So that's what you get. This show is indicative of Christians' performance here. This show is indicative of what you get when you get people with internet, nobodies, cyberspace nobodies with zero credibility. They come on and try to, stand toe to toe with somebody like me or Dave or even Johnny Styles. So it's completely worthless. Tomorrow, this will go on the air. This will go off tomorrow. If Christian Duque never showed up in another bodybuilding show, nobody would ever know. So that's the long and the short of it right there. Absolutely complete waste of space.
Are you done? Is that good? Is it good? Okay. So my position on this is I have the evidence to speak for it. Okay. I get press passes in 6 states. Promoters want me. Bro, I can't do this. I see Johnny's.
Wow. I'm impressed. I'm overwhelmed. I'm just gotta,
Go on.
Impressed. I'm just really overwhelmed.
John,
you have press passes in 6 states. I'm verklempt. Go ahead. I want to hear more of your accolades. What else do you have?
You should come to a show in the States, John.
I was just at one.
Which one were you at?
I was at the USA. I was at the Olympia. What was the last show?
You should come to the Arnold Classic next year.
I'm coming to the Arnold Classic.
Are you? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Can I continue, or do you, I mean...
Please, I want to hear more.
Sabes que a ti te gusta jugar el papel de payaso, ¿viste?
All right, Johnny, you want to translate?
He could just call me a clown.
Why do I have to look at this guy? I mean, like, it's ridiculous. I mean, why do I have to listen to this? I'm trying to speak. I didn't interrupt him when he spoke. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. I have credentials in 6 states. NPC backstage passes. Promoters want me at their shows. I've done many shows. I've co-hosted VPX Power Hit Radio with John for 2 shows. I was interviewed by them. I've been on 3 Questions. I've been on Rick's Corner. I've been on the Greg and Joe show. I've been here. So I do a lot of press. I interview a lot of fans. So one thing that I really like to do, that I've always liked to do, is write articles. Now, John said that I have never worked for a credible website. Well, I worked for RxMuscle.com for 2 years. I guess maybe to John, RxMuscle is not a credible website. I guess all the accolades that Dave Palumbo is giving me about what a great writer I am don't mean anything. Even Monday night.
Said that, Dave?
All right, guys. See you later.
That's great.
You said he was a great writer?
I said
encouraging him for.
I said his writing has evolved. He has gotten better. But the problem with Christian is that he actually has some talent deep down in there, but he's got some kind of a kooky streak in his head that every once in a while the buzzer goes off and he loses his mind. Obviously, it was pretty obvious today that he was trying to get us in trouble. Okay? And there's nothing to get us in trouble about because, I'm on good terms, you're on good terms with everyone who runs the sport. And we all are in this together. Obviously, the Lee Thompson thing, when he left, a lot of people realized that he was causing a lot of problems. And, I was at the Nationals the whole weekend. We got a great response. Everyone got along. It was the best NPC National I'd ever gone to. There was no yelling. Everyone was great in the press pit. We all interviewed people. We took turns. All the organizations got along with each other. He was here trying to stir shit, obviously. And he didn't like when you stirred the shit back to him. And that's why he left. Obviously, we know who won this debate, John. The guy's still standing.
Yeah!
With that said, that is going to do it for this episode of Iron Debate. We are lining up some big guests for you. We mentioned the aforementioned Justin Compton, so we have that in the works. So keep it tuned to RxMuscle.com and the Muscle Central Forum on RxMuscle.com. For Johnny Styles, Dave Palumbo, Christian Duque, and John Romano, I'm Sadiq Faruqi bidding you good evening.